There's a couple of people that I find very interesting in business. One is obviously like a Dame Dash, because I feel like we have a lot in common.
Like, that's the thing, to be the coolest. The coolest lasts the longest. Whoever's going to try to make the most money, I think is going to be, they're not going to be here so long. Because weed is for cool people, so the shit got to be cool. You got to be cool. You got to have that swag that, you know, it got to be cool. Don't let weed look corporate. Make that shit look as cool as it is. Yeah, the best part about this shit is you enjoy it.
Yeah, and it's hard. So, you know, and like I said, for us, we want to tear this down, get all that shit out now, and eventually come all the way around.
And we've not known to being grown today.
No. When I see CEO, I think of Dame. You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, like I was trying to grow a strand 7 years ago, but it was just
too much. Yeah.
I didn't feel like being scrutinized and having to pay lawyer fees and bail to prove something I know I'm innocent. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because they do that shit just to fuck with your bread.
I see what's going on. They're trying to get rid of us. You feel me? They're going to try to get rid of us.
They making it where you got to have a deep pocket. You have to have a deep pocket.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of it is corporate money now, so they going to have the stamina to overpay. You understand what I'm saying? But for the mom and pop, if you could get in now the way you could get in, you can leave a legacy. Because this shit is like owning tobacco, really, B. I'm curious to see what the multiple's gonna be, like what you sell it for.
You guys had a plan to sell Rocafella from the gate, and you knew the number that you had to reach, and then in order to sell. So that's what Sean and I talked about that as well. Like, what number would we take? What number is the magic number?
Bottom line is this: the industry has no multiple yet because it hasn't existed yet.
Exactly right.
So you gotta wait.
So that's what I'm saying.
Just build your brand right now.
Man, you should have seen.
Fam, listen to me.
Yeah.
Build your brand right now.
Right.
So for example, people was talking about Dusko for years because as I was making it, exactly what you're doing now, I was showing it. As I got samples, people were already vested in it and they understood that it was a process, at least certain people.
Right.
The people that was paying attention. But at the end of the day, when you do come out and people look under the hood and look at your history, it's all gonna be there. It's about your lineage. It's about your history. You understand? Right. So right now is when you create your lineage. What is your history? What do you represent? You know, approach it like a bigger brand, like a corporate. Like compare the business. compare the business that you want to a company that exists that you like, and then you look at what kind of shit in the DNA or what they got. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you were tobacco or something, or if you in weed, who would you want to be equivalent of in liquor?
Right.
No, I'm asking you. If your weed was a liquor, what would it be?
Based on what Sean, like we talked about, we want it to be a high-end. We want to
tell me the liquor.
Nah, I wouldn't want Ciroc. Ciroc is cheap to me. I wouldn't want no Ciroc. I would want like a Louis the 13th. Like I want something
right there.
Yeah.
So now if your brand is Louis the 13th, then that means all your visuals have to be Louis the 13th.
Right.
Every lifestyle picture you take got to be Louis the 13th. If that's what you want your weed to be, then, or that's what you want your smoke to be, then that's what 24/7. Like I once, not to be really stunting, right, but I once was on Armani's yacht, like Robert De Niro, and when I got on the yacht, everybody was dressed in Armani. It smelled like Armani. The towels, every single thing in there was Armani. it wasn't a second that his shit, like you took a picture, that shit was gonna look like a campaign.
Right.
Down to the people that were sitting at the table. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So if that's what your brand is, then that's what you gotta be 24/7. You know what I mean? I wanna go someplace where you gotta have some kind of criteria, a taste level. You know what I mean? You wanna be around like-minded people. You could also have the music component to it, to where if you have 30 strands, you could attach an artist to it, give him a royalty, and he doing an album about that shit. Right. He performing it, he signing autographs to it. You could give niggas weed deals. Right. You know what I'm saying? Just like a record deal or endorsement deals. So you got 10 if you wanted to. You understand what I mean? It could be a rock star. It could be a rap star. Right. It could be a jazz. It could be whoever.
Y'all can keep that one, y'all.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you throwing concerts where everybody's smoking that weed, just giving that shit out, and they watching them perform, and then you taping that shit.
Right.
And now you have a commercial.
We want to be consistently great. We don't want good weed, we want great weed.
That's the lifestyle.
Right.
So basically you want to be the purple label of weed. It was never logical that weed was ever illegal. It's not logical. Whoever, it was a funny agenda, but I don't know what it was.
It was to get rid of,
whatever it was.
They didn't want the hemp industry to take care of the textiles with the newspapers. They had to change out all their machinery. The machinery is expensive. So they campaigned for cannabis, hemp, to be outlawed. And they were calling it marijuana, right? So when they put up cannabis, they didn't even know what they were voting for, the lawmakers at their time, so they outlawed cannabis, not knowing that they were really outlawing this hemp and this fiber. Right. And that was the actual core of why they outlawed it.
A guy hit me and talking about, you know, you can make, the hemp is strong, it's stronger than, it's a stronger wood, version of wood. He was like, there's a concrete mix that they do with it. It withstands hurricane winds 70 miles more than what they have now if you use the hemp. And he was like, look, it takes you 4 months to grow that. If we chop a tree out, it takes us 7 years to get the tree back. And he was like, look at the environmental advantage that you have. And I'm sitting here going, wow, that makes sense. I mean, it takes you 4 or 5 months to grow the plant. And then you can don't sell it as flour, you can mix it up in whatever they mix it in. I'm thinking, now you can build homes, right? I mean, you have rope, so now you have a tow rope pulling a tow truck. You don't need a chain no more, those rip. The hemp ain't gonna rip. I mean, so it's like so many more different things besides the medicinal purpose of it that you can do and fuck with.